Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. Just want to show you this live look inside the State House right now. We are expecting for Governor Kemp to speak at any moment now. Just want to let you know as we're taking this live look here that we are awaiting those remarks at any moment now. We don't have a lot of information at this time on exactly what he is going to be addressing, but what I can tell you is that we've been covering extensively just in recent weeks that earlier this month, Governor Kemp did propose an acceleration of the largest income tax in state history. That was just about 2 weeks ago when he took to the steps of the state capitol proposing speeding up a plan cut to the state individual income tax rate, which he said at the time would save Georgia taxpayers around $1.1 billion next year. So you see some other journalists and officials just around there waiting for this announcement to take place. Just want to let you know that we are keeping our eyes there to bring you some live coverage as soon as that announcement gets underway. In the meantime, I also want to let you know about some of the other top stories that we are following as well. And I want to start with this investigation underway into some violence happening overnight. So this is in Southeast Atlanta, this investigation underway right now. Police are looking into a stabbing and a shooting. So they are telling us that a woman was stabbed and a man was shot to death in a neighborhood off of Browns Mill Road. This is something that we're following. Okay, I want to just take you back to these live images. We see Governor Kemp now making his entrance right now. So let's get back to this because, again, we are waiting for his remarks to begin at any moment now. Let's go ahead and listen in.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. And thank you guys for joining us this morning for another great announcement in the great state of Georgia that's literally going to impact every community in our state. Proud to be here with the greatest First Lady in the country, Marty Kemp, with us today. And her sidekick, the First Lady of the House, Dale Burns, is with us today. So it's great to have you ladies with us. I also just want to thank Speaker Burns for being here. House Appropriations Committee Chairman Matt Hatchett is with us, and one of my floor leaders, Senator Bo Hatchett, is with us. Lieutenant Governor Jones and Appropriations Chairman Blake Tillery from the Senate, unfortunately, were unable to join us due to prior commitments, but I just want to reiterate and thank them for their support. 2 weeks ago, as a result of our partnership approach to budgeting carefully and keeping Georgia's economy strong, we were able to announce that we're going to accelerate the tax cut that I was proud to sign into law in 2022. Today, as a result of those same principles and this same partnership, we're able to announce 2 investments that will directly impact all parts of our state. The first one is a one-time retention pay supplement for eligible full-time permanent state employees of $1,000 each. Given how hard these men and women have worked to serve Georgians during the pandemic, to help keep our communities safe, and to make state government more streamlined and efficient, this seems wholly appropriate to me. As part of that effort to make state government more responsive and effective, we have heard from our agency heads about the need to retain those with valuable skills and knowledge. This one-time end-of-year retention payment will help us do just that. I'm proud to say this payment will also include our K-12 educators who are now paid at or near the highest level in the entire Southeast as a result of pay raises we've implemented over the past 5 years. The second investment we'll make is an additional $103.9 million in the FY 2025 budget for ongoing school security funding. This will net out to $45,000 additional dollars for every public school in the state to use on personnel or for infrastructure improvements that strengthen campus security. As you recall, we previously authorized 2 school safety grants that went to every district in the state. Between the first grant in 2019 and the one we announced earlier this year, we have committed $184 million directly to school safety. And that does not include the additional funds provided through agencies like the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, the Georgia Public Safety Training Center, and other designed to improve classroom safety. What makes this latest action unique is that it will be part of the base budget every year, so schools can plan accordingly, knowing this money is headed their way for this express purpose. These two actions we're announcing are direct investments in our state's human capital and our classrooms. They are demonstrations of where our priorities are. And as I've said, they're only possible because we made the hard but right decisions when it came to our budgets, both during and after the pandemic. We're able to make these investments today because we made sure the state's economy was on sound footing, because we didn't grow government, but instead made it more efficient, and because we did not commit one-time money to long-term liabilities. So I want to thank the leaders next to me, along with the members of the General Assembly, for their work and partnership. I also want to thank Director Rick Dunn and the team at the Office of Planning and Budget that have put a whole lot of time and effort into these actions and helped to make this possible. It's going to be a good Christmas and a new year here in Georgia. And there's more good news coming in the weeks and months ahead, so stay tuned. With that, I want to turn it over to Speaker of the House, the Honorable John Burns. Speaker.
Thank you, Kemp. It's a good morning to be a Georgian, I can tell you that. This good Monday morning. It's good to be here with Governor Kemp, First Lady, and my First Lady, Dale, and the last child, but the first child today, Amy Porter. So it's good to see you, Amy Porter. And it's good to be with this governor and announce these significant investments to improve the lives of Georgians across our entire state. You know, over the last few years, we've made tremendous strides in both education and workforce development in Georgia, and today's announcement just builds on both of those areas. First, I'll let you know I'm proud to fully support Governor Kemp's proposal to provide our state employees with this additional $1,000 in supplemental pay this year. This additional pay also builds on the $2,000 across the board pay raise we passed last year for our state employees. Our state employees here in Georgia are really the team behind the team that delivers critical services to our state's citizens. Many times, as we all know, they do thankless work to ensure Georgians can get access to their benefits, obtain a business license, explore health care options, or even visit one of our tremendous state parks. So you know it's important that we show them they are valued, particularly around the holiday season, and this is a great way to do just that. Next, when it comes to the work we do at the state level, there's nothing more important than protecting our children and keeping them safe. We want every child in our state to have the opportunity to learn, grow, and explore in a safe and secure environment. We want our parents and teachers to wake up every day and have peace of mind that is happening to them to go to work or that is safe for them to go to work or drop their kids off at school. That's why I'm additionally proud to join Governor Kemp in providing every public school, as he said, in Georgia with an additional $45,000 per building in their system to hire public safety school officers and strengthen our campus security. This will give every school in our state, from Bainbridge to Blue Ridge, the funding to secure their buildings and keep students safe and give parents and teachers the utmost peace of mind. Over the past few years, we've made significant investments in our K-12 education system, from $7,000 in pay raises for our teachers to expanding early literacy initiatives. This additional funding to keep our students safe is just the latest effort to create a world-class education system that equips our children with the tools they need to succeed in a modern world. Our education system is the foundation of our state's success. We can't talk about job creation, economic development, workforce, and talent issues without making educational success our focus. The House, my colleagues, and certainly those in the Senate will make it a priority as we work towards working with the governor and, of course, the Senate and the lieutenant governor doing just that. Thank you all for being here. I wish you all a safe and enjoyable, joyous Christmas. Governor, that's what I got.
Thanks, Speaker. Great job. Awesome. All right, we'll open it up for a couple of questions. Jeff? Well, as you know, we'll make sure that they're going to do that. They have a great track record of doing that. I think if you look at the way we approached this issue when we first did it in 2019 and then last year, I mean, we gave the schools a lot of latitude and local control so that look, they know the schools better than we do in their back home in their districts. And I'm very comfortable with the work that they've done, and it's all been different depending on the school, depending on the neighborhood, and it's been different even within some systems in some schools. So we'll have stipulations in there for that. But look, we're also trusting them to do the right thing. I mean, they're governed by the local school board, their parents involved, the superintendent's working with the principals, and so far they got a great track record of spending our money wisely, and we've had checks and balances on that, and I'm sure that'll be part of what we're working through during the session. Jeff. Well, first of all, I haven't seen, other than the news stories, the Lieutenant Governor's proposals. There's all kind of proposals that will be coming forward during session, and so we'll look forward to, looking at those. But this is basically us working through, and the Lieutenant Governor's supportive of this $45,000 number was really a number where if the schools want to hire a school resource officer, this funding should be able to take care of that. And that's what it was designed for, really, so we could have a school resource officer in every school, if that's what the locals do. I think especially when it comes to school security, local control is extremely important, because there may be some schools that they could better spend their money on something besides personnel. It may be hardening the school, it may be cameras, it may be some sort of system or what have you. So we're trusting the schools to do that. The key is that this is going to be in the base funding. There is a law that was passed in 2014, the Safe Carry Protection Act, that gives districts the ability to arm personnel in the schools right now. So that's been on the books for a long time in Georgia, and we're not having to pay anybody to do that. No, per law, members of the General Assembly, constitutional officers, our judges will not get it, just be their support staff. Director Dunn can give you any more follow-up on that because they've looked at all that. Art? Well, this will be more toward the school safety side of things. Now, we have put money in the budget for mental health counselors, and we're continuing to look at that issue. Well, listen, all we're doing is giving more resources to our schools for school security. I'm not going to try to speculate on some sort of situation that's going to be out there. This is an issue that literally you have to fight every single day, just like we do with our state law enforcement. That is why the individuals behind me and those that aren't here today decided this year it is time to put something in the base budget dealing with school security. This has never been in the base budget before. This is now going to be part of permanent K through 12 school funding. So this is, a landmark thing that we're doing, and we're trusting our educators and our leaders that are elected at the local level to use this money in the right way to protect our teachers and our kids and anybody else that's in the school, and I'm confident they will do that. But look, this is something that you have to, it's something you worry about every day if you're in law enforcement, or if you're the principal, if you're one of the teachers, or if you're a parent.
All right, so you heard that announcement live from Governor Kemp announcing a $1,000 bonus for state employees ahead of the holidays. And, you know, we're going to keep following all the latest developments out of the State House as well. But I want to get back to some of the other top stories that we're following right now. There is an investigation underway in Southeast Atlanta of a stabbing and also a deadly shooting. So police are looking into what happened because they say that a woman was stabbed and a man was shot to death in a neighborhood off of Browns Mill Road. Atlanta News First reporter Rebecca Schramm tells us that the woman actually went into surgery overnight.
I was at the scene earlier this morning and I learned from police that the woman was stabbed in the neck and the face. That is why she was rushed into surgery here at Grady. Let's take a look at this scene for you so you can see what we saw. Investigators taking away bags and boxes of evidence. The neighborhood is off Browns Mill and Springside on a street called River Ridge Drive. This is in Southeast Atlanta. Police got the call just before midnight, and when officers arrived, they found a man dead from a gunshot wound. The woman had those stab wounds, so paramedics took her to the hospital. Officers on the scene believe that the man and woman knew each other. Both are in their mid to late 20s, and according to what investigators have gathered so far, it looks like the two got into an argument that led to all that violence, the woman being stabbed and the man being shot. I'm checking with authorities to try to find out the name of the man who died. We're also working to find out the condition of the woman stabbed, so keep it here for updates. In downtown Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
All right, and again, we're working to find out the condition of the woman stabbed who went into surgery overnight. So we're going to keep following the latest on that story as well. Okay, also want to let you know about another story that we are following. A lot of controversy here on this one. So a federal judge has now thrown out Cobb County's new school district maps. The judge has ruled that these maps were drawn to minimize Black and Latino votes. The lawsuit stems from claims that the maps diminish the ability of minority voters to equally participate in the process of electing Cobb County School Board members. The General Assembly now has until January 10th to adopt a new map for the May election. Certainly very controversial, something that we're going to follow very closely here. I do have a legal expert and an attorney joining us at 1 p.m. for our stream, and I'm going to ask him about this and his opinion on this and what we could see moving forward. Another major legal story that we have been following as well is concerning Rudy Giuliani. A jury in Washington decided that he must pay two Georgia election workers $148 million in damages. And of course, he was formerly an attorney to President Trump, former President Trump. And he had accused these election workers, Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman here in Georgia, of exchanging electronic drives to flip votes in Georgia after the 2020 election. An investigation by Georgia Secretary of State concluded Giuliani's allegations were not supported by evidence.
The absurdity of the number merely underscores the absurdity of the entire proceeding, where I've not been allowed to offer one single piece of evidence in defense.
And so that was his reaction shortly after the damages were announced. The damage award was announced. A jury deciding that Giuliani must pay $148 million to Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, the two election workers who he was already found guilty of defaming. And, some very disturbing messages that they received were read and actually played in court, on voicemail, some racist threats targeting them. And Giuliani had said that he would testify. His attorney had said that he would testify, but ultimately, after hearing the very tearful testimony from Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman about how those threats impacted them, Giuliani opted not to testify, and then that jury very quickly came back with that award of $148 million. Big question is, are they ever going to see that money? Some analysts are saying that Giuliani will appeal and appeal and appeal, and they may never even see that money. But, who's to say? So that's
The
another issue
absurdity
that
of the
we
number
will be exploring on our 1 p.m. stream with our attorney guests, where we kind of go beyond the headlines and break down what the possibilities are. Okay, let's turn to another story that we're following right now. A very sad, unfortunate situation for some 24 people in DeKalb County. They have been displaced by a fire which ripped through their apartment building. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but it could be a few days before fire investigators figure out how it started. And again, these people are left without their homes as the holidays are upon us. My colleague Don Shipman has more.
Yeah, we're just days away from Christmas. I can tell you that the American Red Cross right now is helping with immediate needs. And I also talked with some people who live inside this apartment complex, and they tell me that they're helping out. This was a massive fire. 8 units destroyed by this fire. It happened over the weekend, early Sunday morning, at this apartment building inside the Villas at Decatur Apartments on Eastwick Circle. This is just off of Candler Road. And when you look at the video, the entire top half of the building is gutted by fire. The assistant fire chief for DeKalb County Fire told us that the middle section of the building partially collapsed as they were fighting the flames. Everyone made it out safely, and now neighbors are coming forward to help those left with nothing.
This is terrible, right? Getting messed up in a situation like this right at Christmas.
Your initial thought was, I gotta get down there and see if I can
If
help.
I can help somebody. Oh, that's who I am. I'm 72 years old, so I've got to do something.
Fire officials say that they narrowed down where the fire started. It started in one apartment, but they're still trying to figure out the exact cause. Yeah, we're just days away from.
Again, fire officials still trying to determine the exact cause of that fire, but 24 people displaced after a fire tore through their apartment building in DeKalb County. The cause still under investigation. The Red Cross helping those families in need, just days ahead of Christmas. We're going to keep following the latest on this and all your other top stories. If you haven't done so yet, please download our free Atlanta News First app to get updates, breaking news alerts sent right to your phone. You can also sign up for weather alerts so that you know what weather is coming your way and you can prepare, especially during this winter season with all the holidays coming up. Thank you. Have a great day.